This officer just unlawfully arrested an off-duty cop.
Okay, then I will arrest you for obstruction.
You do that, buddy.
Yeah, he's a Denver cop.
I know my rights too, buddy.
Okay.
But his supervisor would force him to apologize to the cop.
My apologies. I don't know what else to say.
You ought to know better. Well, I'll see you in court.
And when this security officer pointed a gun at a police officer,
he immediately goes and draws his weapon out, points it at me.
he was eventually fired from his job.
Here right now, he needs to go.
At what point do you think it's good to pull a gun out and point it at a law enforcement officer?
We'll start with the first officer when he approached a parked car with an off-duty officer in the driver's seat.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Everything okay?
Yep. Can I get your name and badge number?
For what?
What?
For what? What do you need?
Officers generally have to identify themselves as police officers, but there are exceptions. If the request is hostile or interferes with their job, then they can refuse to identify until later.
So I know who I'm making a complaint against.
For what?
For speeding.
Speeding?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I have you recorded doing 80 miles an hour in a 65-mile-an-hour zone.
Okay.
No headlights, no sirens, nonchalantly. Apparently you drive like that all the time. So I wanted to film hypocrisy at its finest.
Okay. License, registration, proof, insurance.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Because now you're in.
No, I'm
Yes.
doing nothing. If you're going to start
You
this
pulled
if you're going to start this,
Wow.
get your sergeant over here.
License, registration.
Get your
proof-
sergeant over here.
License,
Get your sergeant over
License,
here.
registration,
Get your
proof-
sergeant over here.
That escalated pretty quickly. If an officer pulls you over, you must provide ID. But this isn't a traffic stop, and there's no crime committed, so the officer's ID request is questionable. This off-duty cop knows this. That's why he's refusing to provide ID.
License?
No, I ain't giving you. Get your sergeant over here.
You pulled over on a traffic stop, so you had to.
I didn't pull over on your traffic
Yes, you
stop.
did.
I pulled over here because I had to answer my phone.
No.
Yeah,
License?
that's exactly why. You're not getting from me. If you're going to keep this up, get your sergeant out here.
So it appears the officer is trying to retaliate because the off-duty cop wants to write a complaint against him. There's a lesson there. If you're interacting with police and you plan on writing a complaint against them, keep it to yourself. Telling them can only make things worse.
License, registration,
You
proof,
ain't
insurance.
getting from me.
Hey,
You
then
ain't getting from
Then
me.
now you're obstructing and
No,
I'll
I'm
take you to
not.
jail.
Obstruction is a physical.
No, it's not.
Look, dude, you better get your sergeant out here,
Now you're
okay?
verbally assaulting
Get your
me.
sergeant out here.
License, registration,
Hey,
proof, insurance.
I can do that. I can tell you to that's the First Amendment. If you got a problem, get your sergeant out
License.
here.
Sure, cussing at the police, it's not a crime, but it's still not advisable either. Actually, if you cuss at them while acting irate and loud, you could be arrested for disorderly conduct.
Registration,
You
proof,
ain't
insurance.
getting from me. Get your sergeant out here.
Okay.
I'm asking for your sergeant for the last time.
And I'm asking
Get
for
your sergeant out
No.
here. Well, you
License-
ain't getting my.
License,
You ain't
registration.
getting my.
License,
You
registration,
ain't
proof-
getting nothing.
Okay, then I will arrest you for obstruction.
You do that, buddy, and I'll sue the of Adams
Step out.
County.
Step out.
Got it.
To arrest him for obstruction, the officer has to prove that the off-duty cop isn't obeying law orders or is hindering his job. But the off-duty cop isn't under any investigation that would require him to provide ID, so an obstruction charge would be baseless and unlawful.
Step out.
You better get a. I want a sergeant here.
Step out.
I want a sergeant
Step
here.
out, and you're gonna get tased.
You're coming to get paid. I have a weapon right there.
Okay.
We have, just going to secure that in here, okay? You have a CCW?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he's a Denver cop, or he's a Denver cop.
And
Really?
I know my rights too, buddy.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
You want to get me out of the road here so I don't get run over?
There's more to this stop, and the officer's supervisor is about to show up. But before that, I'll say this. The officer's actions are definitely questionable, but the off-duty cop could have handled things a lot better. It's important to avoid arguing with police. Even if you feel their actions are illegal, comply with their lawful commands, and when the interaction ends, you can fight it out in court. It's the quickest and safest way to go about it.
All right, sir. He said I was doing 85 and a 65, and he's just recording hypocrisy at its best. So then I asked him for his license registration because he pulled up on my traffic stop. So I was dealing with him second, and he wouldn't give it to me because he's a Denver cop and he knows his law, his rights.
Is he retired?
I don't know. I didn't even see. I just saw he was a Denver cop.
Kind of hard. Okay.
Denver Reserve. So, how exactly did he obstruct?
Well,
That's what we got to clarify.
well, I'm trying to get it. He came up here. if in all honesty, I should have contacted him sooner, but I didn't. I waited for my traffic stop, so I contacted him. He's video recording me, so I was asking for all of his information. He was like, he's not giving it to me. He wanted a supervisor.
He was just video recording?
And then when I was asking,
did he walk up to your stop?
No. But then
you don't have obstruction.
Exactly.
But when I was trying to get his information here, he wouldn't give me his information here. He wouldn't identify himself here.
The off-duty cop wasn't lawfully required to identify himself because there was no lawful traffic stop to begin with. You can see the supervisor is aware of that and knows the officer is in the wrong.
It's weak.
Yeah.
It's very weak, and I can care less that I say it on the camera. But and I asked him to step out, and he stepped out lawfully. Just wouldn't identify himself. It's weak, but I got it.
You don't got nothing.
I'm leaving Brighton. I'm on my way to the Ford dealership to get my core back on the starter. Okay? I'm doing 65. This guy passes me, and I look at my thing, and I'm doing the speed limit. And he passed me, pretty aggressively. So I started to go to catch up to him because I wanted to pace him to see how fast he was going. He was going about 80 miles an hour. I recorded it.
The off-duty cop just admitted to going over the speed limit, which is illegal, in order to pace the officer who is also going over the speed limit. That's not the right thing to do there. Could have just dialed 911 or the local police call line and reported that the officer was speeding, and they'd take it from there.
Like I said, he just passed me and he disappeared. Okay? So my intention was, I've got this on video. I was going to call the station and complain.
Get a hold of me.
Yeah, whoever.
Essentially, that's what we come to.
Right. So I'd like these handcuffs off. I'd like to be going. I'd like that guy's
that's
information, and I'd like to go on my way here.
That's going to happen.
Nice.
And I want an apology from that guy.
Some of these guys, they forget that it's not against the law for someone to videotape your traffic stop. It's not against the law for them to pull over the side of the road. It's not against the law to make a comment. I'll handle it. It'll be taken care of. I promise you that. I'm not going to let it. It's not going to just go away.
Okay.
It will be handled. I'm sorry. I will apologize for the sheriff's office. I'm sorry it happened. It shouldn't have happened. Like I said, let me go talk to him for a minute, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay.
After an arrest like this, the supervisor's job is to de-escalate the scene and ensure that his officers are following protocol. So, this supervisor is doing his job very well so far, and it looks like he'll get the officer to apologize as well.
Well, here's my business card. Didn't mean it to go this route. Unfortunately, it did. So, that is my apologies. But, I don't know what else to say.
You ought to know better.
So I will bite my tongue on that response, sir.
Yeah. Am I free to go?
Absolutely, sir.
Well, I'll see you at court.
Okay, sir. Have a great day. Thank you, sir. Have a great day. No, sir. Enjoy your day, sir. Thank you.
What the hell did he just say?
He said I'm an idiot and to see me in court. And then grabbed his balls and flipped me off. At the same time as you had on camera. Yes.
The off-duty cop eventually sent a legal notice to sue the county, and the county eventually paid him $80,000 for the wrongful arrest. So, he made a lot of money from the incident, and the corrupt officer likely got some talking to after that. But the next corrupt officer pointed a gun at another officer, and he would get fired from his job.
Right here, right now, he needs to go.
At what point do you think it's good to pull a gun out and point it at a law enforcement officer?
It started when police were called to a federal IRS building regarding a man with a gun.
How you doing? So, I stopped up here to ask a question about...
Gentlemen, I need to talk to you before he talks to you.
We're right here. Okay, again, I stopped up to ask a question. You want to pull him aside, that's fine. I stopped up to ask a question about some tax situation. When I walked in, he said, if you're up here on official business, I said no. He said, well, you can't leave your weapon up here. You're going to have to take everything off. I said, well, do you have a locker? He said, no, we don't. You're going to have to take it to the car. And I said, well, I have been up here once before.
310, you can have the air.
And they never said, nah. So another gentleman stood up and said, hey.
That's true. Some federal buildings have a no-gun policy. So, if the officer is there unofficially, they might have to take their gun off.
And I said, okay. And I said, that's fine. I just said, but there's no locker, and this is what I'm doing. I said, so there's no locker? And there's film to see. And he goes, get your hands off your gun. I said, get your hands off your weapon. I said, I don't have my hands on my weapon. He immediately goes and he draws his weapon out, points it at me. I said, what is wrong with you? And I said,
wow.
I'll leave it. He follows me out. He said, it's too late now. You're going in cuffs. So he follows me around the corner here. And I said, you need to go back inside. I hit the elevator to get off. He said, no. He said, no, you're not getting off.
A security guard pointing a gun at and detaining a police officer is a very wild situation. And to be honest, I don't think I've seen one like this before. But there is surveillance footage of the incident, so maybe that's going to give a clearer picture. So that's the officer, and it looks like he's talking to the security guard. Okay, so he's walking away. Oh, wow. The security guard is fully aimed at him in close range. Wow. And that's when he detains him in the elevator. Nowhere in the video does it show the officer reaching for his gun, so the security guard aiming at him was an unnecessary escalation. And then also blocking the officer from leaving was even more unnecessary.
He's not here on official business. He came in here with his weapons. I told him he couldn't have them. He had his hands on his weapons. I told him to remove his hands from his weapons. He didn't listen. I drew on him.
Even if he's an officer?
You're not allowed to have your weapons on federal property.
Even us?
Even you, unless you're here on official business.
Yeah. Yes, he pointed his gun at me.
Arrest that son of a bitch.
You can't point your gun at someone. And this isn't even a life-threatening situation. And I turned around and walked away, and he's still pointing at me straight. In front of other civilians.
I didn't see that.
The officer leaving was in an attempt to de-escalate the issue. But the security guard pointing his gun and detaining him was an unnecessary escalation. So, the security guard could actually end up arrested or even losing his job.
He was facing me at first. I drew my weapon, told him to turn around, and then he kept on walking. I still had my weapon out, but I wasn't pointing at his back. And I'm out here, and I've kept him here because he was violating my directives, and he just can't be here with the weapons. He wasn't listening.
Well, if he was walking away, then obviously he was leaving.
Yeah, the problem was he had ample time to listen to my directives before that. At the time that he was walking away, it was after I told him to turn around and put his hands up.
I'm curious to know how the security guard thought that he would get away with arresting a police officer, though. The best case scenario was for him just to call the officers to handle it.
What's his reason?
He's saying that since it's a federal building and the offices up here, that no one's allowed, regardless of status, to have a firearm in the building.
Really?
Yeah.
What's he got on him?
This is not a federal building.
No, it's not.
This is a federal office
Right.
there, but from there down, it's public.
Right.
This is our suspect with the gun.
This town put his gun.
I'm gonna leave it. It was gone. Then wouldn't let him leave.
Who did this?
He doesn't need to be here. I'm telling you right now.
What's the legal ramifications on that?
I mean,
I'm not a lawyer.
No. Well, neither are we.
So, not any sense.
If the security guard used his gun improperly against a citizen, he could be arrested for assault with a deadly weapon and fired. So that's likely what's going to happen here.
Glad he didn't pull a gun on me, because I would have probably pulled mine on him. But
I started to disarm him.
Yeah,
But I didn't. I just.
the only thing is he feels that he was in the right. Now, I don't know what your guys' rules are, and I know it says no firearms. The only problem is,
But common sense.
Yeah,
He has no common sense.
I know.
okay?
He shouldn't even be
I mean,
here.
it would be different if he walked up here and was in city clothes and had a shirt on, and then he seen his shirt move and he had a gun
Exactly, that's what I
That
thought
makes
it
a
was.
huge difference.
Who's that?
Well, I gotta go back in there, but
Well, you gotta wait out here, because you were the one that called and we gotta get this cleared up.
Yeah, and you were responding on official business, you can come in there.
No, you gotta wait out here, sir.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I've got my directions from the Federal Protective Service, I have to listen to them.
He's very bold, though. He points a gun at an officer, calls the police, then wants to go back to work. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, buddy.
Where is your office? It's right here, right?
Yes, sir. I have my duties to perform, I have to get back to them.
All right, well, hold on 1 second, okay, man? I don't want it to escalate any further, okay?
Let me
run it with my sergeant real quick.
Yeah,
Is he okay to go back down to that office for now? It's right
I
there.
don't think so.
Okay,
I
he's
think
telling us, he's
what
telling
I,
us he just got the call.
from what I'm hearing right now, he needs to go. And that's what, I mean, I may be, from what I understand.
Yeah, well, I agree.
Call 212. Let's run that by them, because I don't think he should be.
I agree.
At this point, he can't resume work because he's currently being investigated for a crime that could show he is incompetent to continue working there. But the officers are clearly unsure of what to do in this case, so they decide to call Internal Affairs Unit to help with the investigation.
Did you tell him that he doesn't want to listen to our directives and wants to go back?
I didn't really tell him that as much. But
As far as I'm concerned, I have to get back to my duties.
No. We gotta call your boss. Listen, do not make this worse, man, okay? Please.
I've been directed by the Federal Protective Service, I have to get back to my job.
I'm gonna call
You called 911 and now you
No,
want to
I
go
did
in.
not call 911.
Who did?
That gentleman did.
I'm gonna call the boss right now, and then we're gonna call Brandon.
How far is that room away? It's right there, right?
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
nobody's gonna go in there with all of us here. That's what I'm saying, that's
Yeah.
why.
Is that what is that?
I'm gonna call Toledo Police.
No, but is that your concern?
What's the concern?
That somebody's going to go in there?
No, there are two taxpayers in there right now.
I told them to go sit in their car and fill this.
Oh, okay.
Right
So,
there.
I think only criminal investigation is allowed to look at it.
Sir, stay
Sir?
here for us, please, unless you're staying right there.
I'm staying
Don't
right
do
here.
it.
Okay.
That's confusing as
what's
far
wrong
as.
with him?
He is just begging to be arrested.
This guy's a boob. At what point do you think it's good to pull a gun out and point it at a law enforcement officer?
He's in out here.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, how about yourself?
Good.
Okay, I got your info.
But like I said, the witnesses.
No,
that
they already got his info.
The witnesses that actually saw what happened were the taxpayers.
Lucky you got a little bit of experience in time, right? You didn't freaking waffle his ass.
Oh, I know. Now, and he's going, I'm doing like this.
Yeah.
Get your hand off your weapon. And this is just how, I said, my hand's not on my weapon.
I mean, honestly, this might, this or this.
That's true. Things could have easily escalated further if it was a less experienced officer who felt threatened and then drew his gun at the security guard.
I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I've ever dealt with this. I've been on for 13 years. I've never had a security guard pull a gun on another officer.
Dude, I'm telling you, and I'll be honest, when I turn around to walk away, I said, this dumb, okay, come here. You know, because I just figured I'd diffuse it by
Just
you know,
leave.
leaving.
Yeah.
And that's when it follows me out over here.
What?
If I'm being detained at this moment, am I allowed to go back to my job?
No, you can't go back. He just told you to wait a minute.
Nobody's even in there, buddy.
Okay, so you were
That's all.
telling me that I'm not allowed to go back, correct?
Sir, you have
Okay.
you have to wait until
This guy is wild. Okay, so these are the internal affairs people.
He pulled a gun out on me.
Are we gonna arrest him?
That officer is ready to go.
I know what we're gonna do yet.
And
We wait for our investigative services to get here and go from there with it.
Oh, he talked to Dan. He talked to Gurkin.
What'd he
Go
say?
ahead and fill him in.
Stand by on a report, get their information, and if IA with you guys needs to call him, I'll give you guys his number, and then we gotta go talk to him after we're done.
Okay.
Basically, Dan even said it. He goes, I don't even know what kind of report to make,
I know,
Right, right.
let alone a crime.
Right.
You know, I mean, this, other than the fact that this boob should never have a gun. I mean, my personal opinion, when you walk up here in a full uniform,
Right, that's what he said.
I mean, I was expecting to show up because all he said was, yeah, it's just a black male, and they give no description of no clothing, never said he was a deputy, nothing. So I'm waiting to show up and just have some black guy walking around in civvies. I get off the elevator, he's standing here, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I come here and play clothes all the time with my badge and gun on. I go to any floor I want to go to. You guys want to talk to him? Yeah, I'd like to talk to him. Please. I'm watching. You got a gun on you. Be careful.
It's not really looking good for the security guard, and his attitude isn't helping. If he wanted to calm the situation, he could admit he was under high stress and just apologize to the officer, saying that he was only trying to do his job. That would greatly de-escalate things and even prevent a whole lot more problems.
You're talking about the sheriff's deputy?
Yeah, did he have an appointment?
No, he didn't have an appointment. He was coming in here on his personal time, armed as he is right now. And I told him he could not have weapons on property. He had to take them off. He asked if there was a drop box. There was no drop box available.
Okay, all right.
And
Can we get some information from you real quick? I'm Captain Grove with Internal
yes, sir.
Affairs.
What's up?
You can come out here and talk to them.
The body cam recording ends there, but the security guard was eventually charged with aggravated menacing and also fired from his job as a security officer. Police officers are meant to enforce and operate within the law, but abusing that authority can result in serious consequences. If you feel an officer's actions are unlawful, end the interaction properly and report to the appropriate authorities. My name's Bart, I'm an ex-officer, and if you enjoyed this, please like the video, subscribe to get more, and watch the next one.